Hello everyone, welcome to this video where I'm going to be teaching you how you can go ahead to customize your GitHub profile just as what you are seeing here, but something even more better than this, right? So basically you can see that we have this README nicely structured and well arranged by the introduction, the about, the GIFs that we have here, the technologies used, the socials icon, GitHub start, and also some random dev jokes and all of that, right? So guys, we're going to cover all of this and even extra resources that you can go ahead to use for your own GitHub README just to make your own nicely structured and well arranged than this one that you guys are seeing on my screen currently. So guys, I'm actually going to cover all of this in this video and even do something more better than this, right? Because I'm going to give you the resources of where I'm sourcing everything from, how you can go ahead to get yours and even customize it by yourself without even stressing yourself, right? So we're going to cover everything in this video, and without any further ado, let's get started with the video. All right, so guys, first things first is I'm going to go ahead to create a new repository. So basically, when you want to customize your GitHub README, you want to make sure you edit the one that is on your file, right? On your landing page, GitHub, just go ahead and click on edit and editors, right? But I don't want to tamper with this. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead to create a new repository for you guys, right? So first things first, I'm going to come here and I'm going to click on repository, right? And I'm going to click on new, right? So once we're done with this lecture, you can go ahead to clone the repository, to start it, whatever you want to do to make sure that you have your own copy of it, right? And I'll name this GitHub dash readme or GitHub dash profile rather, right? And I'll just add the readme file here, right? So I can customize it. Okay, so if I don't add the readme file, it's be asking me to initialize and do all of that, but I just want to go ahead to customize this GitHub profile for you guys, right? So we're going to be starting absolutely from scratch here, right? So I'm going to click on edit, and everything we're going to be covering in this video is we're going to cover this, right? So the first thing that we're going to learn is we're going to learn how you can add GitHub views to your profile, right? So basically, you're going to be seeing the total number of people that are visiting your GitHub profile, right? So after that, we'll look at how we can add an introductory section to our profile, right? So basically, you can write, I'm a front-end developer, add an emoji that is waving or something like that, right? I'll show you how you can actually do that, right? Then next, we're going to cover how you can animate typing, right? So animation typing. Basically, you would have seen it on some people profile before where they're writing something like, I am a full stack developer, then it goes ahead to clean. Then it's writing, I make use of JavaScript, something like that, right? So animation typing, we're going to cover that in this video, right? So after that, we're going to cover image GIFs, right? So you'd have seen some profiles before where maybe that typing and image typing, right? Or a person drinking coffee and typing. Basically, we're going to cover all of that, right? So the next thing we're going to cover is about me section, how to write your about me section, who you are, what you do, and all of that, right? So the next thing we're going to cover is we're going to cover the skills section. And here I'm going to teach you how you can go ahead to add your skill icon to your GitHub README, right? Or GitHub profile rather. So next thing is how to add your socials icon, right? And lastly, I'm going to teach you how you can add GitHub stats, right? So guys, I'm also going to be giving you guys some extra information on the stuff that you can add on your GitHub profile. So you want to make sure to stay tuned in order not to miss that, right? So without any further ado, let's get started. All right, guys. So the first thing you want to do is to look at how we can add GitHub views, right? And basically, what are GitHub views? GitHub views is just a way of showing the total number of users that have viewed your GitHub, right? So just like how you have LinkedIn views, right? You can see people that have viewed your LinkedIn, but this one is just the number of people that have viewed your GitHub repository, right? For you to use profile views, you can go ahead to just follow what I'm doing, right? So I'm going to paste a link right now. And basically what this is doing is fetching a particular repository, right? And that repository contains a repo where you can go ahead to use if you want to check your profile views, right? So quickly, let me just go ahead to show you guys the repository here. And this is the repository here. So then if I come here to open a new link and I paste it here, right? So you can come to this repository and also review it. So basically, if you want to use this, you can just come here to actually go through it and see how it works, right? But one thing that you can also do is basically once you are using it, like for example, we can see what we have here now. So quickly, let me just preview this. If I preview this, it's going to show me total number of views I have, right? And you can see I have like 5.2k views, right? And basically, what you can do is you can change the color also. And if I come to this repo here, you can see we have green, we have yellow. So let me just change this to orange, for example. So orange, so change parameter to orange and preview it. You can see here that it changed to orange, right? So basically, you can just go ahead to play around with the parameters, the color, whatever you want to. Just go ahead to read through this, and you are going to be good to go, right? So, and every link I'm using in this video is going to be attached to the description below. So do make sure to check that out if you want to follow along also, right? Okay, so the next one we're going to be going through is we're going to be going through the introduction section, right? So basically, once someone comes to your GitHub, right, the first thing you want to do is to basically introduce yourself, right? So you can say, hi, my name is this and that. I'm a developer, I'm a so and so, right? So what we can do is basically come to so I want to show you guys something. So instead of you stressing yourself, typing your name by yourself, and designing whatsoever by yourself, what you can do is you can go ahead to click on issues, right? So I'll open this in a new tab. So this is what I do personally, right? I don't know if there are other better methods, but this is the best approach that I've worked for me fine so far since, right? So click on new issues, and what you can do here is you can actually go ahead to customize how you want your README to be, right? For example, I can say um I everyone, right? Say my name is David, something like this, right? And if I go ahead to highlight this, I can do something like this, something very interesting, right? So I can say that I want to actually bold this, right? And if I say I want to bold this, I can go ahead to preview it, and it's going to be bold, right? But basically, what me I like doing is I like using the HTML tag, right? So just in case you don't know how content are really structured in GitHub, right? So when you're structuring your README, there are two different ways you can actually do that. You can actually do that by using Markdown, and that's MD format, or you can go ahead to use something that's called hypertext markup language, right? That's HTML, right? And basically, how it works is, for example, if I come here now and I say something like this, hello, 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 right? So basically in Markdown, this is H1. And if you don't know what H1 means header 1 in HTML, right? So how you write your H1, open your tag H1, close it. In Markdown, you just use the hashtag, right? And if you preview it, you're going to see that this is bigger, this is smaller, then this is smaller than this, right? And we have them up to H6, right? So the next thing that you can also do is, instead of writing this, you can just say something like this, H1. I can say hello, right? And you close your tag. So if you know how to use HTML very well, you can see that this hello and this hello is the same size, right? So if you know how to use HTML very well, you can go ahead to use HTML to customize your GitHub README, or you can go ahead to use Markdown to customize it also. Anyone, it works fine, right? So for example, here now, if I want to say, um, hello everyone, my name is Daveworld, for example, right? So what I can do is I can just say H1, right? And here you can see that it's auto completing this for me, right? So I can just say hello, my name is my name is Daveworld, right? And basically, if I go ahead to preview this, you're going to see what we have here. So hello, my name is Daveworld, right? Okay, very good. Now what you can do is basically you can see that here this hello is currently at the left hand side, right? So using HTML would actually give you that freedom to centralize your text, to add styling to it also, right? So what you can do here is say, for example, I can say, for example, align, L-I-H, right? I'll say align is equals to, and I'll pass in something that's called center here. If you know HTML also, it will be a plus for you, right? So you can see that now the hello, my name is David, is now centralized, right? Okay. So very good. So now that we know how to use that, and if you want to add extra text, you can add maybe I am from Nigeria, something like this. I can add like 2, 3 like this, then I'll write I am from Nigeria, right? If I come here, you will see that I am from Nigeria is here, but it's in an H3 format, right? So sorry, I need to actually space like this, yes. So this should work now. So I am from Nigeria. So this H3 tag, right? So next thing I want to show you guys is, for example, if you want to add stickers, right? If you want to add stickers, you can actually go ahead to do that, right? So here, for example, I can just write like a waving hand, and to do that, you can just click on Windows dots if you are using PC. But if you are using Mac, you can just click on Function Shift E, Function E. But if you are using Mac, you can go ahead to click on Function E. It's going to pop up the emoji dialogues, and you can use whatever one you want to use. So, for example, I can search for hello. So you can see this hand here. I can use this, right? Use this, right? So if I go ahead to just click this W and I go ahead to preview, you can see now I have hello, my name is Daveworld, right? And you can write your full name here if you want. All right. So now that we have that in place, let me just show you guys how you can go ahead to add images too, right? So there are 2 ways to add images. Is either you can go ahead to upload a particular image to your GitHub README file, right? um that's your repo itself, and go ahead to access it directly. Or the other thing that you can do is you can actually just drag and drop images, and by that you can go ahead to just upload it directly, right? So for example, if I come to my new issue and I want to add image, right? So what I can do is I'm just going to go ahead to open an image file from my Finder, and I'll look for one so I can carry it and drop it here. All right. So now you can actually add your GitHub, your LinkedIn banner here, just like how I did to mine. So if I go to my README, my repo rather, wow, you can see that here I added this banner, and you can actually go ahead to add it to yours, right? So for example, let me just search for a banner. Let me search for um, LinkedIn banner. All right. So let me just image just this one. Let me use something first. Let me use it. I like this actually. So let me use this one. Like save as. Right. What I can do is go ahead to open it here. I'm not gonna open this. I can go ahead to open my Finder. Uh, the done. I can go ahead to open my Finder and search for this one. What the name? Download.png. Right. So let me go to download.png. Right. Right. So if I preview it now, you have this. Right. So I can go ahead to come here. Go ahead to come here. Copy this. Paste it directly here. Right. This, right. But you can see that this image actually is not like fitting through the line, right? So what you can do is basically uh, you can actually upload a file to your GitHub profile. So for example, if I come here, I'll upload that file that I just downloaded, right? So the add file, upload file. I'm going to go ahead to drag and drop that downloaded PNG that we just did now. So come here, I'm going to come to download.png. I'm going to drag and drop it here, right? So I'm just going to go ahead to push my changes. Add about here upload. Say add banner image. This is fine, right? Add banner, add banner image, right? All right, so I have my okay, fine. The changes is there. So I have my readme, I have my download.png here, right? So what I can do is if I want to use it in my readme, right? What I'm going to do is I can use an image tag just to make sure that I can style it very well, right? So yeah, I'll just leave that for now. And what I can do is I can go ahead to say I can create a div, right? For example, I can create a div, and this div, what I will say here is I'll just say align is equals to center, right? And this is just me saying that take the banner that I have and align it to the center, right? It's very simple, right? Nothing complicated here. And I can go ahead to add my image to img, and this is how you add image in HTML actually, right? So what I can do here is I'm just going to specify the source. So I'll just say src is equals to, and source is just telling you that you should tell GitHub the part of the image that you want to add, right? And the part is here, right? So here it's named download download.png, right? Let me just confirm that download.png, right? You can see if I go ahead to click on preview now, let's see what's going to happen. You can see here now that it's not in the middle, right? So what you can do is you can now choose to play around with the width, right? So for example, if you want to increase the width, you can say width. Width is equals to you can say, for example, I can add 60 pixel here, right? I can say my height. I can leave my height like that actually. Let me see what's going to happen first. Because 60 pixel is very, very small actually. So let me add something like 10 rem. Let's see if rem is going to work. Rem, let's see what's going to happen. Okay, rem is not working actually for it, but let me go ahead to use with 500 pixel just to play around with the value, guys. Play around with the value. Okay, I can make this bigger now. Say I want like times 2. I can say I want 1500 pixel. That's gonna look like. So you can see now that it's bigger. So I can go ahead to remove this actually. And basically, if you want to write comments, you can see everything I'm doing here is comments, right? So just like how you write comments in Python, use the hashtag. In JavaScript, you use the slant icon, right? You can actually go ahead to add comments here too. So I actually like how this is looking. The width is actually okay for me now. So let's go ahead to do the next thing, right? So the next thing is basically an introductory part, which we have done actually. So this one, I'm just going to take this here and I'm going to paste it here, right? So, and you can actually add more content here if you want to add, right? If you want to add more introductory part about yourself, go ahead to add that, play around with it, you're going to be good to go, right? So the next thing I'm going to be teaching you guys now is the animation part, which you can actually add more content to it for your introductory parts. You understand? So what is this animation part, right? So this animation part is just basically um you writing, just like how typewriter works, right? So typewriter effects in JS, something like that, right? So it's going to be like writing on your screen, the explaining it, writing on your screen, the explaining it, right? Let me just show you guys an example of how it works. So let me just copy this. Let me come here. Actually, we don't need this again. Let me paste it here. Okay. So now you can see this, guys. You can see what's happening here. All right. Let me make sure this is working. Okay. So you can see that here it's writing the 5 boxing wizard jump blah blah blah, right? So what you can do here is you can write something like my name is Demola, right? And add a new line, and I can say I am a front end engineer and a data. So you can see what will happen. My name is Eniola Ademola. Next, I'm a front-end engineer and a data scientist. All right, so the S is too long actually. So I can just say, I can just add I am a front-end engineer. That will work fine for me. So front, I'm a front-end engineer. You can add multiple lines if you want to, right? You can change the color to whatever one you want to use. So I can change it to like green, just to match with what we were using before, right? And you can play around with pause milliseconds after line. You can play around with that. Duration is 5,000 milliseconds per line. You can go ahead to change that also, right? um Horizontal centered, like I'm just going to leave this as default here. And what you can do also is play around with the width and height. And once you are done, remember I told you that there are two ways, right? Using markdown and using HTML format, right? So what I can do is I'm just going to copy the markdown format here. So once I copy this, I'm going to come back to my readme here. I'm going to paste it here. And once I preview it, actually, you're going to see that it's working. You can see my name is Eniola Ademola. So it's going to write the next thing. I'm a front-end engineer, right? So you guys can go ahead to play around with these values, right? You are going to be good to go, right? So now that we've understood how typewriter works, let's go ahead to look at the next thing, which is adding image GIFs, right? So quick question for you guys. I want you guys to tell me what GIF means in the comment section, right? Because I know you guys say GIFs a lot, but you don't know the meaning, right? So let's go ahead to look at how we can do that. And basically, this is also very simple, right? So for example, if you want to use any GIF, what you can also do is search for a particular GIF online, then go ahead to download that, add it to your GitHub, right? After adding it to your GitHub, you can now go ahead to call it like how you are calling normal image. It's going to work perfectly fine there, right? So let me just show you guys one repo that I saw that has a very nice GIFs that you can actually go ahead to use also, right? So, but basically, first, before I show you that, if you want to use any GIF, you can just come here and search for coding GIFs. And look at images here. You can see that we have nice pictures here. You can see we have different GIFs. This one, let's go ahead to play it. So you can see this shaking, water is pouring, takes it up. Okay, nice. You can see if you're a lady, you can search for ladies GIFs, right? Whatever one you want to use, you're going to be good to go. All right, so you can see this nice one here too. So let's see if it's playing. You can see it's typing. This T is working, right? But I actually like this, but I'm not a female. The time is ticking, song is playing, the coffee is very hot, and it's showing the smoke kind of. You can add whatever one you want to use, but I really like this one actually that we saw first, right? So let me just go ahead to copy this, and I'll copy image address, right? I'm going to copy image address, right? So for you to use GIFs, what you can do is you can just come here, right? And what you're going to do is you are going to use an image tag, right? Because that's the best approach that's working for me so far, right? So I can go ahead to just say img, right? And close the tag. And here I can just pass in my source src is equals to this, right? And if I want to align it to the left or right, I can do that also. I can say align is equals to right, right? And if I come here now, you're going to see that it's going to display. You can see, and it's now at the right hand side, right? So what you can do is you can now go ahead to add more introductory part about yourself here, right? Like the fun things that you like doing and all of that. So let's go ahead to do that together. So to do that, we're going to go to our issues, and we're just going to write something that is called a list, right? So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead to just close this, clear this actually. And yeah, I can now write fun things about myself, right? But let me just add some text that I have here already that I used in my own profile, right? So copy it, paste it here, right? So you can see here we have all about me is my website. If you have a website, actually, you can go ahead to include that. If you don't have, it's fine. You can actually remove it, right? You can see subscribe to my YouTube channel. This is my YouTube channel here. I am currently working on something interesting. I learn every day. And if I preview this also, you're going to see how it looks like, right? Just a list. And you can actually turn it to a list by just highlighting and clicking on it, right? You can see lists, ordered, unordered. Everything is here, right? You can play around with this. You can see ordered list, right? So I'll copy this right now and I'll come here. I'll go to my edits, right? And I'll go to my about me section. Go ahead to paste this here. And here I can also add something like H2. And I'll say about, and here I can also add an emoji. Let's function E and just say something like maybe man, like just say about me. Now let me just use something like so about me here, right? If I come out to preview this, you can see that here we now have this, right? And you can see that this GIF is actually too much. The width is too much. The width is too much actually. So you can go ahead to play around with it, right? But that's you'll be using width, right? So the width you can play around with the width. But I just like to leave it as default like that, right? In order not to tamper with the original width that is coming with the GIF image, right? So next thing that we're going to be talking about now is uh, the skills icon, right? So the skills icon, and we are gradually getting to the end, right? So the skills icon, actually, you can do that by following this particular URL, right? So for example, if you want to add a skill that you are good in HTML, you are good in JavaScript, just like how I have it here, something like this, right? Skill section. Actually come to this particular one here, paste it, this URL. Don't worry guys, I'm going to be giving you guys all the links that we're using. Is going to be in the description box below. So you can see here, for example, if I want to use um, this line, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, and this, right? I can copy this, right? Come here and add it to my skill section. If I go ahead to preview, you're going to see what we have here. You can see, right? So what we can do is, yeah, we can just write my skills, and I'll make it an header too. All right, my skills, and here I'm going to put a emoji, right? I'll just write tools, right? Something like this, right? So, and basically what you can do is you can see we have HTML, CSS here, and WASP, right? What you can do is if you want to add more icons, for example, if you want to add AWS, all of that, you can just go ahead and copy it, right? AWS, GDB, Flutter, whatever tool you know how to use, right? I can copy this, come here, and add it to my skills, right? If I come here to preview, you see we have HTML, Google Cloud, Azure, React, Vue, Flutter, right? And there are other thousand icons that you can use, right? You can see here we have Astro, we have Atom, we have AU, we have AutoCAD. You can see we have many, right? So whatever skill you know how to use, Discord, right? Bot, right? We have Django, right? Whatever one you know how to use, just copy the name. For example, if I want to add Java, just copy Java and come here and I'll separate it by comma, right? Or come here to edit, separate it by comma. So Flutter here, and just comma Java, right? If I come back to preview, you're going to see that Java had been added already here, right? So that's how to add your skill section. So my skills, not kills, right? Let me edit that. skills section, right? So that's pretty much it about skill sections. If you want to explore more about that, you can just come here and play around with this. All right, guys. So the next thing we're going to be talking about is the social skill section, right? So for this, I'm just going to go ahead to paste what I have from my own README, and I'm going to explain how it works. All right. So from my own side, I have something like this. Um, my social icons, right? So you can see, let's get connected. And whenever you want to use that, you can just have a p tag. So a p tag just means paragraph tag, right? So this paragraph tag has this a tag inside them, right? So what is a tag? A tag simply means anchor tag, right? So for example, I have something like this here also, right? So whenever you want to add links to your website, you use the a tag. It's called anchor tag in HTML, if you're familiar with that, right? And that's what we're doing here. So we have this anchor tag, right? And this anchor tag is embedded into this image tag, right? So this image tag is just coming from a logo online, right? It's coming from badge, from Twitter. You can see we have from LinkedIn also, and we have from Instagram also, right? You can go ahead to add more if you want to. Okay. So, and I'm specifying the heights, just so that we have the correct height styled very well, right? So if I come out to preview this, and we can see that we have that here, right? So you can go ahead to add more socials if you want to. That's pretty much about the socials if you want to add socials to GitHub README. Okay, so the last thing I want to cover is the GitHub stats, right? And GitHub stats is just a way of showing to the users total number of pull requests you've made, total number of commits you've made, your GitHub streak days, and all of that. That's what GitHub stats is, right? So for you to use GitHub stats, you would actually have to go ahead to this particular link that I'm going to paste here, and that's this link here. So this one is going to help you, it's going to give you the user interface where you can go ahead to pick whatever one you want to use, right? So for example, you just go ahead to specify your GitHub username here, and here you can choose GitHub and choose the theme that you want. You can choose blue green, right? Let's check this out. And icons, will say show icons is equals to true. We want the icons to show, and we'll leave the rest like that, right? So you can see this green icon, very, very nice, right? So let's submit, right? So you can see, right? It's very, very awesome. Very, very awesome. So this is blue green. Let's go ahead to change something. Let's change it to let's see, view dark. Let's see how it's gonna look like. Okay, this works fine. Actually, I actually like this actually. So if you want to use this, you can go ahead to just copy it to your clipboard, the markdown, copy to clipboard. You can copy the HTML one, whatever you want to use, but I'm going to copy the markdown. So the markdown, I'll just come here and I'll go ahead to paste. All right, so if I come here to paste and I check my preview now, so we have this here, right? Very, very awesome. This is the way you can actually add your GitHub stats. You can see I have total commit of 3K, total pull request 45, total issues 2, contributed to 56, total stars 620, right? So that's one of the way you can add your GitHub stats, right? So for example, here you can just come here and write let me say function E. I'll say stats. Here I'll just write GitHub stats. And here I can just make it header 2, right? Okay, so aside from that, the other ones that you can add is the one I also added to my README, which is to basically show you the total number of um, the way you have actually used a programming language. For example, if I come here and paste it here now, so if I come here and paste this, right? So if you want to use this, actually, you would have to replace your username with your GitHub username and remove this Eniola Ademola, right? So if I go ahead to preview this, you will see that now it's going to go ahead to show me my top language, right? That I've used, right? But actually, I feel this is not really accurate because um the top language I've written is not Jupyter Notebook, right? It's either going to be Python or TypeScript, but sometimes it does not go ahead to catch it very well, right? I also tried using another one, which is this. Let me go ahead and paste it here for you guys. So, which is this, right? Um, well, let's go ahead to preview it. You see what's going to happen. So you can see, yeah, it is also picking Jupyter Notebook. I don't know why. Probably because Jupyter Notebook takes more space in VS in GitHub. Maybe that's why. But you can go ahead to use this for your own if you want to, right? It's going to work pretty well fine too. Okay. So the bonus one I want to actually add for you guys, I told you if you have stayed up onto this part of the video, then let me just teach you um how I added this to my GitHub repo too, right? So you can see if I come to my profile here, you can see here at the end. Okay, let me just give you guys this one too, right? If you want to add something like this, your total contribution, your current streak, and your longest streak, right? If you want to add something like that, actually, you can come to this place. Let me just go ahead to give you guys the code also, right? Edit. So if I come here, so the streak can come here to add that here too, right? So just come here, add that here too, right? And basically, you can just copy this and replace your username too, right? With your username, right? So if I come here, you see I have the total streaks, longest streak that I've used, and all of that here, right? Okay. So with that being said, let me just teach you guys how you can also add these random dev jokes for you, right? So let me go ahead to give you guys the code, right? So this is the random dev code which you can add to your repo too, right? So you can come here and you can go ahead to add that, right? So what this does is once they refresh your page, right? So random dev jokes are just going to come up, right? So if I come here, if it's refreshed, you're gonna see random dev jokes for you. Refresh for random jokes, right? So how do JavaScript developers break up? They always promise to call back. Oh, right, yes, exactly, right. So let's go ahead to click on edit and preview again. Let's see if it's going to refresh for random jokes. Okay, it's showing the same thing. I think I have to refresh the page in it, but let's see if it's going to work now. Well, it's still showing the same thing actually, but basically, if once you refresh the page, this is going to change, and we'll test it out after we are done, right? So, guys, this is pretty much it. This is pretty much it about GitHub README. And actually, if you go ahead to actually see any README that you like on GitHub, you can go ahead to check out the code and use it too. So, for example, if I just search for something like GitHub README profile, so let's just check if we'll see a very nice README profile. If this one is just random, let's see this. Let's see. Let's say top 10 GitHub profile. Let's check this together. Let's see here. Okay, you can see this person on very, very simple and straightforward actually. So if you want to use this also in your own parts, you can just look at how the person did this, right? Just click on edit. So once you click on edit, you can see it's telling me I have to fork, but I don't want to fork, right? So what I can do is I can say code, I'll click on readme, and I'll go to code. So you can see, right? Look at the content, JavaScript. You can copy this. Once you copy this actually, right? Once you copy this, you can use it in your own readme too. So edit, let me just come down here, paste, let me preview. So I have this, right? So code and tools, you can go ahead to change it to yours, right? Customize it to whatever one you want to use. Basically, everything is open source, right? So feel free to use whatever one you want to use. You can see organize. You can change this to your name actually, right? Change this to your name. But if the person actually wants you to reference the person code that he used or she used, please make sure to do that in order to avoid copyright, right? So call organizer, I can just say Daveworld. Yeah, I can put Daveworld also. And yeah, I can put Daveworld. right? So basically, if you go ahead to search for top GitHub README repos, you should be able to see some nice repos that you can also make use of, right? So if I go back and I go to this, for example, you can see this person on to this is pretty simple and straightforward, right? So this, you can actually add it to your code, right? So basically that's pretty much it about GitHub README, and I'm going to be helping someone to customize his or her GitHub README profile. Just make sure to drop your GitHub username in the comment below, and I'm going to be picking people at random, um just to help them to customize their GitHub README profile, right? Because it is very, very crucial. Once recruiter reach out, comes to your GitHub README, and they can see that it's well structured and nicely arranged. It gives them a leverage to say, okay, this person is this person is active on GitHub. This person knows what he or she is doing, right? So with that being said, that will be the end of this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you do, please make sure to share with your friends and someone that you know that is going to really need it, right? So with that being said, that will be the end of this video, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.